Good evening. I'm Susan Zollinger. I'm a practitioner in training here at Center for Spiritual Living La Crescenta. Welcome to our Wednesday night metaphysical lesson. So today I was thinking, what can I possibly do? But I decided to go with listening to what the Christmas spirit is telling me. And part of it was, I was decorating my tree last night, listening to Christmas carols, doing that, and one of those songs that comes up, it's the happiest time of the year. And I was thinking, is this really one of those times? Maybe for some it is, and for some it isn't. There's been a lot going on this crazy, crazy year. So I thought I would look up a little information on happiness. And Ernest Holmes has got a lovely little essay here in Living the Science of Mind. So I'll start with reading about happiness. Do you wish to be happy? This is a foolish question, for who would not be happy? Someone has said that we used to think we had to be well in order to be happy. But now we know we must be happy if we wish to be well. Happiness must be based on an inward sense of security, a sense of belonging to life and to each other, a desire to give, to be kind and compassionate, and to be able to put ourselves in the other person's position. Most of our unhappiness comes from our relationships with others. If we cannot be happy unless some other individual or some other group of individuals admires and loves us, we have not yet realized that every person is complete within himself. For when we reach back to the true self, which is God in us, we shall have penetrated to the innermost depth of all people. Happiness is never external. All the money in the world will not make a person happy. The highest position of dignity or trust cannot make one happy. Jesus stated it this way: "For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" Mark 8:36. Of course, he was not referring to any actual loss of the soul, because the soul is the incarnation of the Spirit within. Hid with Christ in God means that we trace the human back to its divine source, which is God, and rest in the security of being enfolded in infinite love and wisdom and kept by an infinite law of good. It is true that we cannot be well unless we are mentally and emotionally happy. To a much greater extent than we realize, the physical body reflects our mental attitude. Our food neither digests nor assimilates properly when we are filled with unhappiness and fear. The stream of life flows fully and freely from the innermost recesses of our being only when we are happy. Children are happy because they have not learned to be afraid. There can be no happiness where fear is. Blessed the children playing on the shore, to them belongs the pipe of Pan, the song of surf, the waves' uproar, the fog, the wind, and freckled tan. No thought of care, nor gain to reap, no fear of darkness, dread of night, no dream of turmoil in their sleep. Their evening star shines clear and bright. With hearts filled with happy zest and joy for what the new day will bring, they lay them down in peace to rest. At morn before them the lark will sing. They hail the day with wild delight, their feet in naked gladness shod, their eyes with wonder gleaming bright, for such is the kingdom of God. Well did Jesus say that we must become as a little child if we would discover the kingdom of happiness. The child expects its parents to meet its needs, to provide for its comfort, and to give it love. We are all children, not so much of a larger size as of a broader experience. There is a little boy or a little girl inside each one of us, a child just emerging from the unknown, meeting experiences, learning how to live. But too often the spontaneous joy is pressed back into the unconsciousness, where it still seeks the self-expression which it has been denied. Why should we have to be so cold and indifferent, harsh and critical, or so troubled over living? It is because the child has been crucified on the cross of negative experience. And now we must retrace our steps, because the child in us will not be denied. The spontaneous joy of the child playing on the shore, the gladness of meeting the new day with the expectation of pleasure, and the quiet peace of rest at night, untroubled by inward conflicts. These are what we all long for. We must regain this lost ground if we are to have happiness, security, and peace. This is what faith does for us. It makes no difference what form it takes as long as it is sincere. But even here, the clearance will not be complete if we continue to worry over the question of salvation and the ultimate well-being of the soul. This too must have a clearance, a redemption, and a new birth. This is why Jesus told us that we must be born again, that we must become as little children. Is it so hard then for the intellect to give up its vast accumulation of false knowledge based on a concept of separation from the original source of its being? Somewhere along the line, we shall be called on to make this surrender and again become as children. Our attempt to become happy will be futile. Without this, it matters not what we possess or what ambitions we entertain. We are so constituted that we are incomplete until we consciously unite ourselves with that which is whole and perfect. Can we learn to surrender all our doubts and fears, our uncertainties and forebodings, and live our lives with enthusiasm, expectancy, and confidence? I venture to say that could we learn to do this, our inner conflicts would dissipate themselves. Our prophetic feelings of evil would vanish, and we should be at peace with God, with ourselves, and with others. So, in that light of mind, I kind of put together some things that I enjoyed since I've been a child, since I have been a child. Well, getting back to being a child. So I got one of my favorite Christmas carols, which is actually the poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow called Christmas Bells, written in 1863 during the Civil War. And I left out the references to the Civil War, but you all know this Christmas song. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And thought how, as the day had come, the belfries of all Christendom had rolled along the unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Till ringing, singing on its way, the world revolved from night to day, a voice, a chime, a chant sublime of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And in despair I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Then pealed the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill toward men. A little emotional there. Well, so to lighten things up, I thought I'd sing you a little song. And this is a song that I learned in Hawaii. It goes to the tune of A Partridge in a Pear Tree. And this is the pidgin version of that, Hawaii style. Number 1 day of Christmas, my tutu gave to me one minor bird in one papaya tree. Number 2, day of Christmas, my tutu gave to me 2 coconuts and one minor bird in one papaya tree. Number 3, day of Christmas, my tutu gave to me 3 dried squid, 2 coconut, and one minor bird in one papaya tree. Number 4, day of Christmas, my tutu gave to me 4 flower lays, 3 dried squid, 2 coconut, and one minor bird in one papaya tree. Number 5, day of Christmas, my tutu gave to me 5 big fat pigs, 4 flower lay, 3 dried squid, 2 coconuts, and one minor bird in one papaya tree. Number 6, day of Christmas, my tutu gave to me 6 hula lessons, 5 big fat pigs, 4 flower lay, 3 dried squid, 2 coconut, and one minor bird in one papaya tree. Number 7, day of Christmas, my tutu gave to me 7 shrimps a-swimming, 6 hula lessons, 5 big fat pigs, 4 flower lays, 3 dried squid, 2 coconut, and one minor bird in one papaya tree. Number 8, day of Christmas, my true love gave to me, my tutu is my grandmother, my tutu gave to me 8 ukuleles, 7 shrimps a-swimming, 6 hula lessons, 5 big fat pigs, 4 flower lays, 3 dried squid, 2 coconut, and one minor bird in one papaya tree. Number 9, day of Christmas, my tutu gave to me 9 pounds of poi, 8 ukuleles, 7 shrimps a-swimming, 6 hula lessons, 5 big fat pigs, 4 flower lace, 3 dried squid, 2 coconut, and one minor bird in one papaya tree. Number 10, day of Christmas, my tutu gave to me 10 cans of beer, 9 pounds of poi, 8 ukuleles, 7 shrimps a-swimming, 6 hula lessons, 5 big fat pigs, 4 flower lace, 3 dried squid, 2 coconuts, and one minor bird in one papaya tree. Number 11, day of Christmas, my tutu gave to me 11 missionaries, 10 cans of beer, 9 pounds of poi, 8 ukuleles, 7 shrimp a-swimming, 6 hula lesson, 5 big fat pigs, 4 flower lace, 3 dried squid, 2 coconut, and one minor bird in one papaya tree. Number 12, day of Christmas, my tutu gave to me 12 televisions, 11 missionaries, 10 cans of beer, 9 pounds of poi, 8 ukuleles, 7 shrimp a-swimming, 6 hula lesson, 5 big fat pigs, 4 flower lace, 3 dried squid, 2 coconuts, and one minor bird in one papaya tree. Well, I think I have time for one more reminder of what it's like to be a child at Christmas time, and that is A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Clark Moore. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter. I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew in a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the lash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was all dressed in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke had encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose, I knew, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." So let us be that child of peace, like we sing in the song, "Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me." And so it is.